All right. So today we're going to take a look at how we create a nominal infinitive. So we're working on nominal structures and we're looking at structures that are not nouns but still do a noun job. And so now we're going to add in what we call an infinitive, which is our second of three types of verbals that we have in English language. That's verbal. And a verbal is part verb, part something else. So we talked about a gerund. A gerund was part verb, ending in ing, but it was kind of doing a noun's job. So now we're going to come across the same thing. We're going to come across a verb in its infinitive form, which is kind of doing a noun job. So looking at our notes, if you have your notes in front of you, what I want to do is I want to just simply introduce what an infinitive is, and then we're going to break it down to a series of short videos on how to actually break these diagrams down so we can visually see what's going on with an infinitive. And then lastly, we're going to take a look at also creating a subject for an infinitive. So a lot of stuff on infinitives today. So a nominal infinitive is going to be a verb that's being used as a noun. Let's see if I can bring up my pointer here. And an infinitive is basically the verb form with the word to. So you're going to have to plus the verb. To plus the verb creates an infinitive. And sometimes they will have helpers with them. Sometimes they won't, but sometimes there'll be some helpers with them. That's all part of the infinitive. But the infinitive is going to be used three different ways in the English language. So this is the first of three times that we're going to come across the infinitive. The first time we take a look at it is what we call the nominal infinitive because it's being used as a noun. Next time we'll look at it, it will be as an adverb. And lastly, we'll look at it as being an adjective. So to continue on with our notes, examples. If I said, after school, we all want to nap. Well, to nap is an infinitive. It has to plus the verb. It looks like a prepositional phrase, but nap is, in this case, not being used as a noun, because I guess you could have a nap. But this time it's being used as a verb, to nap. And basically what's happening is it's serving as really the direct object. We want what? To nap. I could say to study sounds like the worst plans for a Friday night. Well, to study is an infinitive, but it's actually serving as the subject. So I said, what sounds like the worst plans for a Friday night? Well, the subject is to study. So it's kind of weird that you have a verb serving as the subject or a verb serving as the direct object. But that can happen, again, with, let's try this again in English, that can happen with a nominal infinitive. Now, an infinitive can be all by himself, just to plus the verb. But just like a gerund can be by itself, a gerund can also be a gerund phrase. So all verbals can be verbal phrases. So the infinitive can also be an infinitive phrase. Look at the other examples I posted for you. I could say, after school, we all want to nap in our bedrooms for a few hours. Now this infinitive actually has a lot more to it, and therefore we would consider this to be an infinitive phrase. If I said, to study your SAT practice test before the real test tomorrow sounds like the worst plans for a Friday night. Once again, the infinitive is to study, but now I've added a bunch of extra words to it to create an infinitive phrase. And so it's not going to change the punctuation. We're going to find with an infinitive, you're never going to need a comma. And therefore, the temptation you'll find is to say, oh, I want to put a comma after the word tomorrow. And we're going to prove in our diagrams that that wouldn't be correct. All right, so our first example sentence reads, all students should learn to cook a basic meal before graduating from high school. So I want you to recognize first we have an infinitive. And once I find the infinitive, I double check and make sure, do I have just simply an infinitive or do I have an infinitive phrase? When I look at this closer, I realize, oh no, I got an infinitive phrase. It's not just simply to cook, it's to cook a basic meal. And really then once I see this, I have to kind of consider it as being one big noun. What noun is it serve? What noun purpose is it serving in the sentence? And when I look at the sentence, I realize it's actually serving as the direct object. Basically, my sentence reads, students should learn what? To cook a basic meal. So let's put this on a diagram so we can visually see what's going on. And then I also help explain why they don't get commas in a nominal infinitive. So I'm going to pause my video and then I'm going to start a series of short videos taking us through the diagrams. Thanks for watching.